Because this piece is so thick, the circular saw is just not going to make it through. So what I'll do is I'll cut it with the circular saw and I'll finish it off either with my hand saw or I'll use the reciprocating saw. You can see just how much of a a parallelogram this really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bandsaw first and cut away and square up the material, and then we'll start working on machining this into a perfect rectangle. The first step in getting nice, flat, and true lumber is to start at the joiner. We'll make a couple passes over the cutter head to get in one flat surface. Next step is to take the opposing face that we haven't done anything to and run it through the planer. So if you have two pieces that are clean, flat, and parallel. With the faces now cleaned up, we can start turning our attention to the edges. Oh, one thing I want to say about the faces. After I got done cleaning the opposing face, I just real quickly flipped the board back over and ran the face that I ran with the joiner through the planer. So we're back to the joiner again, and we're going to start on the edges. Couple things to keep in mind. We want our fence square to the table, and we want to feed the stack in a downhill direction. That way we get nice clean cuts. For the other edge, we're going to run the piece through the table saw. Now the saw's just barely thick enough to cut through the piece. So I've got my flat tooth ripping blade in. I'll feed the wood through nice and slow. The last step is to go ahead, we'll square one end of the lumber, measure for length, and cut the other end. I went ahead and traced out the design of the crown molding since I had the pattern from the original, and we're going to go ahead and rip it here on the table saw. Then the next step, we're going to have to do a diagonal cut, and I'll show you that as soon as we're ready. We've got a couple of jigs to make. The first jig we're going to make is for the bandsaw fence. I need to notch this piece of laminated plywood that's about 1.5 inches thick, and you'll see what that's for in just a second. I thought I was going to need a jig for the bandsaw here, but after doing the layout carefully and tilting the table, we're not going to need a jig. So we're set up to do the diagonal resaw, and it goes like this. So now we've got the piece cut, The next thing we need to make is this. This is a cradle that the piece is going to sit in on the planer so we can get that nice smooth surface. And all that starts at the table saw. But we'll start on that next time.